university, there's a whole section called Muslim Life at Duke, where he's honored as the Islamic scholar who initiated these on-campus Islamic centers with Islamic life, is now a part of Duke, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. In fact, there's a Princeton lecture every February on the legacy and life of Imam Abdul. So what happens is for us, a lot of times as African Americans, part of our liking, I would say, is that we come after the fact. We Johnny come lately. All right? And so that's why it's always important for us to do what the Prophet says. Those who are present should tell those who are absent that perhaps those who are absent understand it better than those who are here. That's why we feel obligated, myself in particular, I feel obligated to share as much as I can as what we experience with the Imam, because maybe some of you may understand it and carry out even more than what we've done. All right? So I just want to begin by making that statement. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Just by being able to say that in Arabic and to translate it, you know, is an understanding goes back to Imam Muhammad. All right, as I was telling the lady this morning, we had our meeting. We had about maybe 40 people out to our ways and means. We meet every Saturday morning. And I was discussing with them what I want to talk about today for a minute. We're going to open up a question from you, and we try to stay in the time limit of the program. I said to them, how many of you know the fact that we believe that God was a man? And can articulate very eloquently and prove that there's a black man was God. All right? How many of you remember that we thought that making prayer was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, turning toward you with our hands up? How many of you were giving charity as a cat was waving your money, brother minister, I got this money? How many of you believe that fasting Ramadan would only be done during December? And going on Hajj was going to Chicago. All right? I said, well, then, if you remember, if you was one of those ones who like me, I did that. I did it very sincerely. In fact, I was so confident in that belief system, I convinced other Muslims who had the Quran and who had lived Islam that what they had was wrong. All right, think about it now. We're able to take this mythological theology and was so bold with it that Muslims who had lived Islam, I know one guy's name was Abdul, I'll never forget it. We was up at college together, up in New England. And he was praying Salat in the bathroom. And being a bold black Muslim, nah, man, we don't pray in no bathroom. And we go out, we were kind of assertive, to use that term. So anyway, being, first of all, I believe a sincere student of the Honorable Muhammad, that prepared us, and being a sincere searcher of knowledge, that prepared us when the Imam began to teach. For me, it was a relief, because I had did studies in the Quran, extensive studies, right? And in the Quran, both in English and Arabic, and there's certain things that bothered my mind, but as a sincere follower, you just kind of put those things that gave you a conflict, you put those to the side until you could understand later. So I was one who was blessed by having knowledge of the Arabic language. I had always studied the Arabic language before the man came to City. I studied with Masjid, who was Malcolm X secretary. And I always say the Quran, especially this one we're here, this is by Maulana Muhammad Ali. In fact, I went through this book and indexed every word in this book, so I have my own personal concordance to this book right here. And then as a sincere student, man, said, we won't use that book anymore. We're using Yusuf Ali. I immediately put that aside, the complete project, and started working on Yusuf Ali. Now, having that type of perspective, I was not one who was maybe, if you look on the video, a couple of videos, you see me, I usually was in the background. And it could have to be, I'm not a person who loves to be before the camera. And what happened was, I was able to observe the Imam, observe his movement. So when he became the leader in 1975, I was blessed as a young man to go sit at the table with all of the dead ministers. And this is my development now in the leadership role. And what happened was Minister Jeremiah Shabazz had seen some of my writings on Islam and on Islamic education in particular. And he took those and shared them with the Imam. And the Imam said, I remember we sitting at the table, the Imam said this, he said, this brother seemed to be divinely guided. Now, Minister Shabazz, all he heard was divinely guided. He came back to Philly, somebody made, remember, he tell all the people, you got a brother who know the Quran, they call it Quran, they call it Quran. And the chief said, the Supreme Minister, he's divinely guided. So I was moved from New York to Philadelphia. That teach the minister, remember? All right, so my relationship with the Imam started on that level where I was already a student of the Quran before I met him. All right? And as a student of the Quran, you know, the key was, and I always tell people, the key was to be patient. Never try to go ahead of your leaders. In fact, the example I always give people is this. They said light travel 186,000 miles per second. But thought travels 78 trillion miles per second. So you follow your own thoughts, you're in the dark. Because you're ahead of the light. I said, ever since you gotta learn to control your thinking and make sure that you don't try to be ahead of the leader. Many brothers that I know who went on to become leaders in their own right. But they went in the dark. They were stumbling in the dark because they thought that, remember brothers, when we went, for example, in 1977, I was chosen to go and study, I had a scholarship to go, actually a fellowship to go study Islam and Arabic in Saudi Arabia. The Imam had set this up for us. And what happened was, a number of brothers who went, and really who didn't really study the Arabic language, they studied the fiqh and the deen and other Islamic studies, could come back to America because we didn't know. Speaking of this, enough Arabic to dazzle us, and we put it automatically as our leaders. All right? So what happened was, so we stayed home and we got to this certain things, but here, he came back home. Many of the believers here were not ready, especially in prison, not ready for a truly study of the Quran. And the people say, they say, you know what, the video of Mashallah. They say they wanted to follow the Quran, but it was still personality based. When I first got back, there was a lot of, even at Mashallah, it was more us against them mentality than we're trying to establish Islam for human excellence. More we do not at the Imam school. But Imam Muhammad made it very clear that you got to stand for something, not against something. Because if you stand against something, that thing is gone, your sense of purpose is gone. If you stand for something, you continue to strive. So human excellence is something you're always going to do. So I said all that to say, when we travel with the Imam, I thought always, on a number of occasions, I was blessed to be able to sit with him on the plane, just talk, all right? One time we were talking about the whole idea of Ummah and Hajj, all right? And a lot of people, and I asked him a question, because in my studies, I saw that Hajj was a much older institution. Because even, obviously, the Ummah was much older. In fact, the word Ummah itself actually means age experience. Umrah. The Imam was saying that, yes, brother, you're right. That idea of Hajj came, it was perfected by probably even with the idea of people journeying to visit a place predates even Ibrahim's life. All right? Now, you know that people all over the world had sacred sites that they went to and they visited. They tried to only visit. So that's one conversation. But I noticed that whenever we meet with leadership, especially so, in fact, I knew Arabic, I can help with some of the translation. And then the man was always one, he was never forward. His thing was always, what was best for the community? All right, what was best for the community? Like I remember one occasion where we were at a conference and the sheikh, we had to be from Egypt. And he got to talk about the green belt that's going to spread around the world, and we're going to become one community. The Imam said, well, yes, the Imam got to speak. He said, yes, but who's going to be the male and who's going to be the female? You're on a belt. You have a male part and a female part. In other words, what the point the Imam was making is that we're not going to let your ideas come and impregnate with this community. And that's very important because he always insists on us being people who had our own mind, have our own perspective on Islam, because he knew that the Islam in the international world was many different expressions, and good example he made us when we were the guests of the king of Saudi Arabia. And he said, look out, you look out, all is wealth. But right across the Red Sea, you got Djibouti, Eritrea, Somalia, some of the poorest African nations and failed states. You don't look across the water and see it. And they're all Muslim. And he said, one of the things is that they don't have their own mind. They try to imitate. And not having the same, if you don't have the same intellectual wealth, you're never going to have the same production, even if you have the same physical wealth. So this is one thing that's very important, I believe, for us as a community in America, is that how do we go to the Quran? One of his main concerns was getting home in the Quran, not getting home in his personality, on his morals. Over time, everybody was wearing earth shoes. Everybody was wearing scarves on their head. I said, I'm not into that. I don't dress like that. You know, there's some people think that when you don't just do the thing that the Imam did, it's like you don't follow the Imam. And I think that's what he wants to do. If he did this with his head, you could do that. That's not what the Imam wanted. He wanted to see us come to birth in the Quran. And that struggle still continues. He wanted to see us come to birth in human excellence. Not in an artificial Islamic excellence where we are imitating some other society, whether it be Pakistani, Egyptian, Saudi. He wanted his community to come alive in their own mind, their own direction. And he insisted on us learning the religion from the original sources. In fact, some people recall that for the first maybe 15, almost 20 years of his ministry, he focused primarily on the Quran. There's nowhere talking about hadith. Because he knew that hadith were the product of, after the 300 years of Islamic development, then Sheikh Bukhari actually collected them together. And you know, there were 600,000 he collected. He only selected 9,000. So 691,000 of the hadith that Bukhari collected were this guy. Then they said that there's other people using it. This thing was, there's no ayah, there's no verse in the Quran that's not revealed by Allah. This is if you come to birth in the Quran, when you study hadith, that will guide you in the study of hadith. Whereas you see a lot of our people, especially here in America, people every now and then we see a new fad come along. Like when the hadith says at one point the brother wear the pants that cut off. Now you got new brothers wear skirts. Where did it come from? Well, some sheikh told us this because they don't have their own mind. So one of the things, as I think as the legacy of Imam Muhammad, is producing people who can think for themselves. So, because how can you lead the society? How can you give advice to society if you don't yourself know what you're doing?